Well, we know that severe weather is always going to happen, and preparation the only way for us to fight back. So one of the things you can do is develop a disaster recovery plan for your documents. It includes protecting important papers such as birth certificates, social security cards, insurance policies, and wills. Now, Greg Parent is a litigation attorney here in Atlanta. He joins us now with a little bit more on this. Greg, thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so we'll recap for folks who weren't watching last hour. What are some of these documents that we need to know we have somewhere safe if we need to get back on our feet?
Well, you want to keep a copy of like your marriage license, the deed to your home, certain insurance policies for sure, and banking statements or investment information. Those are things that you want to keep a copy of. And one of the things we discussed in the earlier segment is it's important possibly to make copies of them and scan them into the computer so you can have a digital copy and then send the originals to the safety deposit box.
Now, I mean, the old school way here would have a good old safe box. It's fireproof and waterproof. You put everything in there. But you've got a few samples here that we're kind of going along with the times, and there are other options available now.
There are. The first one I'd recommend is an external hard drive. You can get anyone, you can get them tailored. I happen to have a Macintosh computer. You can have them tailored to this or a regular PC. And just make a habit of backing them up either weekly, monthly, as often as you want to make sure you don't lose things.
And of course, you have to store this somewhere that's going to be waterproof and safe also.
Right.
So there is that backstop.
There is the backstop. I happen to have several, and what I do is I send one to my parents who live in North Carolina, and then I keep one with me in a fireproof safe. So every month I go through, and then when my parents come to town, I'll upload all the children's pictures, because frankly that's all they care about now anyway, the children's pictures. And they go back to North Carolina and everything is safe that way.
I like that. Spread out the data so there's somewhere else to go. But you mentioned a cloud also. So for those who aren't familiar with that, a cloud is basically a server that's somewhere else held by a big company.
That's right. And they call it in the cloud because they can sync up wirelessly. And what I have, again, I'm not promoting Apple specifically, but I happen to have the iPad, an iPhone, and the MacBook Pro. And with Apple, everyone is given approximately 5 megabytes of free cloud space. And with that, if I take a picture on my iPhone, it automatically syncs up to my computer, my iPad, and then it syncs up into the cloud. So if I lose the computer, I still have the pictures. If I lose the iPhone, I still have the pictures. If I lose the iPad. And there are other...
And you can take a picture of, say, your driver's license or your birth certificate to have that also and upload that.
That's exactly right. And for insurance purposes, if you're robbed, if your house burns down, insurance adjusters and insurance agents encourage you to take pictures of the things you have. Sometimes it can be taking a picture of your living room so they can see the DVDs, the stereo system, and the TV. Other times, like you said, it can take a picture of your important documents, and then you have it.
All right. And one little tip that you did share before the break here was that if you get your documents wet and you have a Ziploc bag handy, freeze them. I never heard this.
Well, the biggest danger to paper documents other than fire is mold and mildew. And if your home is flooded or otherwise, or your documents are otherwise damaged, get them into a Ziploc bag and put them in the freezer, and they will maintain their integrity until you can get them to a specialist who can dry them out.
All right. Greg Parent, some great advice. Thanks for stopping by this
Thank you for
morning.
having me.
We'll be right back after this.